Okay. It says we're live, so I hope so. Hey, everybody, are we live? I see Glenn. I see Virginia. I see Erie, Pennsylvania. Back home to Cleveland. Look at me. I'm like the romper room lady. And I see Chad, and I see Tyrone. Oh, I hear noise.
I got an alert.
There you go. Hey, everybody, we're back. Sorry we took a little brief hiatus last week. We apologize. We are back. And stronger than ever. From the Finger
Well,
Lakes in New York, Tyva. Hey, we missed you last weekend. Yeah, we did not go to. We were supposed to go to. We were supposed to go to ASP last weekend. We did not go, unfortunately. But we've got GeoClash in what, 2 weeks? Not this weekend. Next weekend.
yeah, I just like panicked because I looked at the calendar and realized it's like it's in like 2 weeks, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're getting into summertime. I think it hit 100 here today,
wow.
No, it's cold here.
so it broke records. Put it that way.
We had tornado sirens today.
Yeah, we get tornado sounds.
Meh.
Hey guys, tonight's show. It's a call-in show tonight, guys. Let's discuss your first puzzle solve, find, and placement. So everybody, before the show starts, everybody do your homework. Go to your geocaching site, look up the first puzzle you found, the first puzzle you solved, and the first puzzle you ever hid, if you have.
You know, I can't go back that far.
Yes, you can.
I found so many. No, you can't. It's
You
only
can. You
goes.
got to change your filter.
Yeah, you can.
Change your filter to found before date.
Oh.
I had to figure that out too because I was like, I can only go back 1,000. And then I realized
I went
oh,
right to
can
my big.
adjust
I
my
changed-
filter.
all I did was go to my geocaches, go to my caches, go to my puzzles, and then reverse the date. Boom. There's my first. There's my first find. I know my first puzzle hide. That's all I did.
So no,
I
because
li-
the filter only shows you 1,000 at a time now.
Right. You got 5 pages of 200, so 1,000 at a time, and I've got 3,000. I've got over
Right.
3,000 finds
Right.
on puzzles.
I don't know how many
Yeah.
puzzles.
Oh, you can
So-
go into the filter though
The
and change your
filter
found
by
before date. So I did that for I changed it to like my first year of caching.
filters.
Yep, it's a discussion show, guys. So you give us a call tonight. Let's talk about it. I want to hear about yours. I don't want to hear about mine. I know mine. I want to hear yours tonight, guys. So give us a call 808-468-7924. Do your homework beforehand. We want to hear from you guys tonight. And everybody else does. We haven't had a call-in show in forever where we had callers calling in all night. Gotta get back to the roots, man. All right, are we ready?
Sure.
Jess, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'll take your silence as agreement.
Yeah, sorry, I was on. I'm on mute. I have a cough.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache. If you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30, which means that it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. We have our co-host, Shortinets, in the next room.
Hello.
And please welcome to my virtual left, my other co-host, your friend and mine, Chaz. 427.
Howdy, y'all. Do you remember your first puzzle, that is?
That's right, Chad. Tonight's episode, you threw me off there. Tonight's episode 718, recorded live on May 25th, 2022, is Let's Discuss Your First Puzzle Solve / Find / Placement. Phone lines are now open, guys, so give us a call, 808-468-7924. That is 808-GOT-SWAG. And for your international callers, you can call us free via the web, alcollinstudio.com/show/GCPC. Chad, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. You
I'm doing okay.
alive?
I am alive.
Okay.
You know, sorry about last week, guys. Jesse and I got sick at the literally last second. Let me phrase that. I got sick at literally the last second at like zero, so to speak, for the show. I was showing symptoms Tuesday night, and by Wednesday, literally, Jesse, tell them how much I slept Wednesday.
W- We'd be better off saying how much you didn't sleep Wednesday.
I slept Wednesday away, Chad. Like gone.
Right.
Mhm.
Like Wednesday.
Mhm.
So much that I was literally a day behind. I thought Friday was Thursday. Like I literally like slept the day away. And then the worst part, this is the worst part of sleeping the whole day. Literally, when I say guys
Right.
the whole day, I mean the whole day and all night into the next day. Is that I didn't sleep, Chad. I woke up Thursday. I didn't go to bed till Saturday night.
No.
Wow.
You
No,
woke
I
up
think we're gonna
Thursday. You didn't go to bed until Friday
Friday
night.
night until Friday night, late night. So I was up
Wow.
for over 24 hours.
So it's one that it's not one that you couldn't get out of bed. It was one that you couldn't go to bed or couldn't sleep.
Mhm.
I slept so much that I couldn't sleep, dude. It was like I had already been up for 24 hours. And
Okay.
you ever pull an all nighter? You know, you're like dead to the world. You're exhausted. I was
Yeah.
fine. I was like doing perfectly fine. Like even 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I was fine. I'm like, I hope I can go to bed tonight. I was paranoid, like I was never going to sleep again. Like I was just, I literally wasn't even
You
tired.
always get there.
I wasn't tired at all. It's like this is bad. When you're on like hour like 27, 28 and you're still not even tired yet. Oh man. So well, needless to say, I finally fell asleep that night. Now my sleep schedule's back to normal, thank goodness. But
Awesome.
yeah, it was a fun couple of days. I gotta tell you, man, fun couple of days.
No, it wasn't. But okay.
No, it was. It was interesting. It was. I will say it was definitely interesting. It was something. You know, it was something. I hope I never experience again, and something I've never experienced before. I'll say that was the worst sick I've ever been. I would say for me anyway. I'm not going to speak for Jessie. She can speak for herself, but
Yeah, I was pretty sick.
worst sick I've ever been. Yeah, but we're okay now.
That's
Back
good.
to about 90%.
Yeah, I get a message from Jesse a couple hours before the show. I was like, "Oh, sorry, Chad. Show's I can't do the show tonight."
I was
Like,
like,
we're
there's
sick.
no way. There's no way I can do this. And Scott was like
Out.
There was no way he was coming in. And I'm like, nope, I
Go on.
cannot. I don't even know how all of this works, like on a regular day, and then being sick, trying to
Right.
make everything work. I'm like, yeah, no, not happening. So
Yeah.
sorry
it was-
about that, guys.
Maybe if I'd set it up beforehand, but I didn't even do
Yeah.
any of that. I slept literally the whole day.
Yeah.
So
And even worse than having to cancel the show. Well, I mean, canceling the show was probably worse than us canceling our trip to ASP. I was really looking forward to it. Had our campsite reserved. We had everything all planned out, and we decided not to go. So not.
Oh, I hope you got everything refunded.
No, not everything. I mean, of course, everybody has a non-refundable portion. I got most of it back.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So sorry, everybody, if you were looking for us at ASP. We wanted to go. We were gonna go.
Yep.
We were, and 24 hours away from going.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
But hey, we're gonna be at GeoClash in a couple weeks, so come see us there.
We'll be in Ohio in a few weeks. Anyone going to GeoClash, we'll be there. Yeah. So anyway, Chad, before we get the show started, this is a show that we're supposed to air last week, so we're airing it this week. Chad, we got to talk about Patreon. Chad, costs a lot of money to make this show work. There's two ways you can help us out. You can go to PayPal. That's PayPal.me/the Geocaching Podcast and make a one-time donation, much like MP Glenn did. Chad, MP Glenn, super friend of the show. He's an awesome guy. He did this last year too. Sent us some traveling money for the megas. Super appreciated.
Definitely.
And so we really appreciate it. Chad got his. We all got ours. So we appreciate it very much. It will be used to good use soon. Actually, it was supposed to be used on the last week, but we're going to use it next week, actually. Or guys, you can do that, or you can become a patron of our show. Chad, a patron. You get extra video, extra audio, only available to our patron members. You get path tags and stickers and pins and coins. We got the new pins here, Chad. Chad, did you get your pins, by the way?
Did I get my pins?
Did you get your pins in the mail? These are coming out. These aren't for patrons. These are for everybody. But look,
did I get my pins?
I don't know. Did you get your pins? These are
Did
pins.
you look at the monitor? Look at the
Oh,
monitor.
I'm looking at the. Oh, there they are. Yeah, look, Chad's got his pin.
Yeah,
I see Chad took one for himself. I see that.
of course. It's
So,
got to go on my hat.
Oh, they turned out
so
really nice.
They
yeah, those
did.
are really nice. So those are. So those are going live. No, those are live. Those are actually going to be giving away at the megas. You see this at megas. Say, hey, dude, throw me a pin, and if you're lucky enough, we'll have some left in stock to give you a
Yeah.
pin. I did see Going Caching got published. I did see Going Caching get published. Yes, that's in October, I think, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
in
So
October every year.
so patrons get extra audio, extra video. It's a good thing to be a patron. M Nerve Chad, we got a really nice email from
Mhm.
M Nerve. Upped his pledge on Patreon just because he appreciates all the hard work we've been doing, and I appreciated that because you know what, I have been working hard on this show lately, and it was noticed. You know, all the better content and the better quality and everything that's been going into it, and I appreciate that he noticed, and thank you, M Nerve. It's much appreciated. So thank you for that. So you want to become a patron of this show, Chad? You go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the geocaching podcast.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
Tonight, we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the rider who would rather go cache than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Bee Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocaching. I almost said Max Says Body Company. Practical Geocaching sells you utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group. With adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL, if you have an idea for a shirt design and cannot find it, you've come to the right place. Please give us the opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Find them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And by PadTags.com. For all your swag and pad tag needs, visit our website to get creative help, to trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pad tags. With over 44,000 tags to collect, PadTags.com is everything you need to start your pad tag obsession. Visit them at PadTags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And by Geocaching Adventures LLC. Geocaching Adventures is a full-service travel agency specializing in creating the ultimate worldwide geocaching adventures for cachers and non-cachers alike. What could be better than having your geocaching bucket list vacation all planned and led by a traveling expert? Learn more by visiting us at geocachingadventuresllc.com. That's geocachingadventuresllc.com.
And finally, by GeoGo. Go caching with GeoGo, the geocaching app for Android that includes a Where I Go player, trackable scanner, companion watch app, and county finds database. If you're an advanced geocacher, GeoGo helps with powerful features like nearby cache notifications, optimized routes, offline mode, bulk TB logging, and much more. Learn more by visiting us at geogo.com. That's GEOOH-GO.com.
And as always, Chad, you can find links to all our sponsors on our website or
in our show notes.
in our show notes, Chad.
Ooh.
Chad. Speaking of show notes, Chad, Arctic Crafted $5 coupon. Still good through June 1st, by the way, Chad.
Awesome.
Did you order something from Arctic Crafted using your...
I did
coupon,
not
Chad?
this time,
God.
except for my T-shirt with Patek T-shirt, which is in the mail as of today.
Oh, look at you in the mail. Nice. So, so that already crafted. Yeah, guys, $5 off coupon through June 1st. So you got one more week here. If you want to order from Already Crafted, $5 off coupon. The coupon's GCPC. That's what you type into the coupon code, GCPC. And how about our friends at Geocaching Adventures LLC, Chad? Did you hear about this last minute vacation she planned?
Mm.
It's going on next month to Scotland, Wales, and England. Chad.
Awesome.
Scotland, Wales, and England.
You know they're all on the same island.
I don't
It's
care.
amazing.
It's pretty like I'm putting a link to it in the show notes. Anybody who wants to check it out, check it out. I'm telling you guys, if you got the time, I wish I did.
I was making a joke there, dude.
I missed it. What'd you say?
I said they're all on the same island.
They all on the same island? Yes, they all on the same island.
Yes.
Yes. So yes, so Scotland, Wales, and England. That's where they're going. Different parts, I guess. I don't know where they're going. The England, Wales, Scotland geocaching adventure. There you go.
That
You
looks
arrive in
pretty
London.
amazing.
What?
It
Yeah.
looks pretty
Do you
amazing.
see everything they're hitting there? Do you see
Yeah,
that?
that's awesome. London, Cardiff,
We got to be hitting Bath.
Liverpool,
Cardiff to Snowdonia, Liverpool, Edinburgh, Highland. Oh, you're going to the Highlands? Uncover Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. Oh, we could beat the Clan MacLeod. Jelly. I'm jelly. How much is it? $4,000.
Is their cost? Must be back here. $4,000? Yeah. $39.80.
What does 923 single sup mean?
Addition. If that's probably that price is probably based on 2 per room. So if you want a single room by yourself, you have to add $923.
Oh, that's
That is an awesome looking trip.
Sarah, we need to stop looking at the trip. Doesn't make good audio when we're just sitting here looking at reading the trip. So yeah, guys, you want to
can't hear us drooling over the.
I put the link in the show notes. The link is also in the link is in the show notes, and the link is also in the show notes for the live show right now. So you guys want to take a look, you absolutely can. It's pretty amazing. Also, how about our friend Andy Wright? The Kickstarter came out, Chad, for Pinpoint UK Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It already hit its goal, Chad.
Did it?
Already
Wow.
hit the goal. Again, I'm going to put this one also in the. You guys want to add to this? You want to join this? Hopefully that's enough. Hopefully, I hope that goes through. I apologize if it doesn't. Let me know if it doesn't, and I'll do a tiny URL on it. But yeah. If you want to chat, if you want to join if you want the magazine sent to you, you could join it and have the magazine sent to you. Jesse, you're on mute. Oh, thank
I
you.
knew that was going to happen. I put a better link.
Thank you.
A short link.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Skippy says maybe next year we can get a GCPC trip like that together. Oh God, I can't even imagine.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
So Pinpoint UK Magazine, guys, help our good friend of the show, Andy Wright, if you can. He's already hit the goal, but keep it going, man. It's only
Definitely.
only gets better. So if you want to order that magazine, I think it's every couple of months, or once a quarter it comes out. I can't.
Well, they said 4 issues a year. That's
Yeah,
what I was
so,
reading on there. Yep.
So if you want to order the yearly, you go ahead. He would surely appreciate it. He will ship to the United States. And that's all I got, Chad, in the notes, believe it or not. The news, rather. I should say news, not notes. So, Chad, let's get to the show, guys. Give us a call, 808-468-7924, 808-GOT-SWAG. Talk to me about puzzle caches. Chad, when you started caching, and Jesse, when you started caching, did you go for a puzzle cache? What was your first find, Chad? Was it regular?
My first find, of course, was a traditional. Well, actually, my first probably 15, 20 finds were no. Actually, it was my first like 10, 11 finds were traditionals, and then I found then I had the hiatus of 133 days of not caching.
Oh, that's right.
And then I was over in China. I found the only traditional within 100 miles of Xi'an. Then I went over into Shanghai. I found a traditional and my first virtual there. And after I came back, I started looking some more. But when I was going through the notes of some of the early puzzles that I found,
Mhm.
I found the one that I actually had solved first, and I had solved it all the way back in October of 2010 when I first started caching. When I got opened my caching account, but we'll talk about that as we get into them.
Mhm.
So,
So,
yeah.
so my first, so I guess I'll start. Guys, give us a call 808-468-7924, 808 GOT-SWAG. You wanna join in this conversation? My first puzzle find, Chad. Okay.
Mhm.
First puzzle find, and I remember this one too. I remember it. It was GCNZXW. I found it July 27th, 2008 is when I found it. And what I remember, the cache was called the Buffalo Grove Airport. It is now archived. Sadly, I see it archived it for me, so I could put a cache near my old house. Jess, you remember when he archived that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so it was going strong until I asked him to archive it, and he did. I shouldn't have done that. But I never did solve it. I never solved it. It was I guess that's that became my MO as a cacher. But it was a projection cache, Chad, is what it was.
The
And
easiest one to solve.
who knows how to do a projection when you first start caching? Who knows how to do that?
Your GPS unit knows how to do it.
I didn't have a GPS unit at the time. All I had was a phone with a map with coordinates. The red dot to the blue dot. This is all pre-apps, pre everything else, dude.
Mm,
This is before I didn't get a GPS until Father's Day 2009.
wow.
So I had no idea how to solve a projection. So
Yeah, I guess that would be pretty hard if you didn't have a GPS to do it with you. And I'm sure at the time there weren't like websites to look the stuff up.
no, in
So
2008, July of 2008, no. So I had, and this is before I had met I See It as well. So I literally just walked around the area and stumbled upon the cache hanging in a tree.
mhm.
Stumbled upon it, and I was like, "Oh, there it is." And I to this day now I know how to solve it, but I literally never solved it. I see it finally said to me once, like, "Oh yeah, that's a projection." I'm like, "Oh, projection," because he didn't even say it in the notes. I don't think, if I recall, it didn't even say it's a projection. He didn't even do that. He might have said like it was. He might have given numbers like it. It was 200 feet, whatever. I don't recall. But yeah, I had no idea how it worked or what it worked. So that was my first puzzle. Never solved it. Stumbled upon it, which is funny. That was my first puzzle. Jesse Brown, I was there for yours, but let's hear your story about your first puzzle.
You were there for mine.
Yes.
And it was a field puzzle called an Elgin benchmark. Found it in December of 2012. So we barely knew each other.
Wow, we barely knew each other.
It was my 84th find overall. The only cache types I'd found before that were traditionals and one virtual, Cloudgate the Bean. So yeah, it was a field puzzle actually using a benchmark, and you had to get the numbers and do math and all kinds of calculations based on the information found on the benchmark. And so I went back and looked at our logs from that night. So
Mhm.
my log says, first puzzle cache, had a little help from the pro. Now, to me at the time, Scott was like a professional cacher. He had over 5,000 finds. This was number 84 for me. Scott's log. I think we might have a new t-shirt, Scott.
What was my log?
Nice cache. TFTH.
TFTH.
You always say that. Thanks for the hide. You always say that. TFTH.
Nice cash.
Nice cache. Yeah.
That's it. Nice cash. Period.
Nice cache.
There you go. Nice cash.
Yeah. Nice cache.
TFTH. Not even TFTC. TFTC.
No, TFTH. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, that was but I remember like watching Scott, with his pen and paper doing that calculation and figuring out the chords, and I was like, "How did you know how to do that?" He was like, I just followed the directions. So that
Yeah,
was
I
kind of
remember
cool.
you were like dumbfounded by it. I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yep.
And that was on the college campus, right? That was one on
It
Elgin's
it
community college,
was, and
yeah?
it is still active, I think. I think
Is
it's
it
still there.
really?
I believe it is there. It's at the community college there in Elgin.
Where was the final? The final was by a wall or by like a
I
drain.
don't even remember the final. I remember standing there solving it over the benchmark, but I don't remember where the final was.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That was a long time ago, man. Yeah. So I was there for your first puzzle find.
You
How about
were.
that? How about that? That's nice. Chad, what about you, sir?
So my first puzzle find was My Chains Are Gone. The GC code GC2N1NX. And that was on April 24th of 2011. It was actually my 21st find overall. And I was going in and reading the cache notes and stuff, and I had to put this in here. It said my cache note said TFTC. It's an excellent condition. This was my first puzzle logged. I've solved a couple, but haven't retrieved them yet. Thanks to Mr. Bennett for helping get over the first hump of finding the mark. It was an enjoyable experience. So the puzzle cache was actually pretty interesting because and it was multiple layers of finding the link. So sometimes the link was buried in HTML code. Sometimes it was buried in the meta of the images. Sometimes it was part of the image itself. But you had to find the links and follow the links in the trail to get to it. And I was if I recall right, about 3/4 of the way through it, and I got stumped, and I couldn't figure out the last part of it. And so Bennett Tribe was the cache owner, and I contacted him, and he helped me get over that hump. So very early on, I wasn't afraid to ask questions if I got stuck in a puzzle.
You were early asked for helper, is what you were.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
that's nice.
if I have no shame. It's like if I can't solve it, I'm more than willing to say, hey, or especially it's like I got this far. Can you give me a nudge?
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
It's just usually you
But
just
there's a lot of people out there who are afraid to ask, to ask for that help, and it's like that's one thing you should never be is afraid to ask for help on puzzles.
Oh, of course. Oh no, absolutely agreed. 1,000%. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. They want you to find it. It's rare that you
Right.
find a cache who doesn't want you to find the cache. So it's just a matter of just finding just contacting the owner and saying, hey, at least a nudge would be really nice.
Right.
Yes, that would be really nice. Yeah, Chad, nice. All right, so that was your first
Find.
puzzle find. Not your first puzzle solve. Your
Correct.
first puzzle find. All right, we've got Cody Dog. Hello, sir. Hello.
Borg.
Hello. Hello.
How you guys feeling?
Feeling okay? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good.
So your first puzzle find. I might have been there for years too. Just like,
I was thinking that, but it was there. But
No?
it took me till after I met you to do my first puzzle, which is 6 months.
mhm. What was your first puzzle that you found?
Zip, zilch, nada.
That was a Dina Works, was it not? If I remember correctly.
Yes, it's or a bat.
What?
It might be a Legend of Bat.
No, it's not a Legend of Bad, is it? Is it the one that's up in that tree? You got to climb the tree.
Oh, it wasn't Dina. Yeah, I got it up now.
Hey,
Yeah, it's in that triangle intersection where Central Road splits.
Yes, I remember. I do. That's gone, I'm assuming, right? Is that cache still there?
Yeah, it's gone. It's long gone. But yeah, you had heavy traffic on 3 sides of you because it was in a triangle. Like a
Yes.
tree in a triangle.
Yes. Yes. Jesse, what are you looking up?
I'm looking to see if I have the chords. So way back in the day, I used to write down all of the puzzles that I solved in the book, and we used to have. I don't want to take up Cody's time because I know he called in, but we used to have a lot of puzzles in this area that you had to like do printables and print stuff out and solve puzzles, and then we had ones that had booklets that you could collect stamps for, or we had one where they give you this. Here's all the caches, and you have to get codes from each one to work your way to the final, that kind of thing. So I was just looking to see if I had that one solved.
The Zip Zero Zilch?
Probably. Is that the one
I think it was.
is that the one we went to in Walt's van?
I don't
one
think so.
Yes,
day?
it was.
It was. Me too.
Ah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, we were all there. We went back to it. Yes.
Yeah, because that was 0000000, right? That's what it was. It was like
Right.
42, 56, 000, 87, 12, 0.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who climbed the tree when we went back.
I don't know. I know I've climbed it, so I don't know if it was that one. I have
I
climbed
can say who didn't climb it when you went back.
me.
Scott.
No, I've climbed it actually. I have climbed it once.
Yeah, okay. You climbed it once solo, right?
Yeah.
When you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think I did climb it. So, all right, Cody, what about your first solve? Do you have that out? Do you remember that?
Oh God, first solve. I have no idea because you did it for the longest time.
How sad is that I did it for the longest time? Okay, what about your first puzzle hide?
Oh, my first puzzle hide was dog related.
Dog related? Which one?
It had the different breeds of dogs, and it ended at a poop bag dispenser.
Oh, was it the poop bag dispenser? The nano on the poop bag dispenser?
Yeah,
the one that kept going, that kept like disappearing. You couldn't keep that thing active.
People would use the bag dispenser, and it would jiggle, and it would just shoot the nano off.
Right.
Hey now. Yeah, those poop bag dispensers aren't all that sturdy in general. We had one here that they did a magnetic flat pack that managed to wedge between the sign behind it. You know how they usually have a sign behind them?
Yeah.
The wedge between the sign behind it and the actual dispenser.
Mm-hmm. Really? There you go, Cody. You could re-up it.
Yeah.
Reduct it.
Or reduct it.
Absolutely.
How long has that one been gone for? That one's been gone a while. I remember that one.
Oh, it's been a long time. I think it only lasted probably maybe a year, maybe.
Really? That's it?
The community didn't maintain it. I guess it wasn't good enough.
Decided it wasn't good enough. Jesse went down a dark hole right now, is what Jesse went down.
Yes.
She went to put the book away. Come on. She went down the dark hole.
It's in here somewhere.
Really, but this is really fun because I'm like remembering all these puzzles.
Okay, Aaron, thank you, sir. Good job. Thank you for calling us and sharing your stories with us. And yeah, okay. So that being said, before you go, have you put out any other puzzles?
No.
I don't think you have either. Like, have you ever done another puzzle? Have you ever had another puzzle that you've done? I don't think you have.
No, because Browntown came into the picture.
So you didn't put out any more puzzles?
No, no. I'm not a puzzler.
Okay. All right, sir. You be well. Okay.
All right.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cody Dog, everybody. Cody Dog. Let's talk. We got Sacramento, California. Hello, sir.
Hey,
Hey.
hi Scott. Hi guys.
Who's this?
This is Sparky 916. Paul Racy.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Sparky or Paul.
Good. Good.
Tell us about your
So-
first puzzle find.
All right, first puzzle find was my very first day puzzle, very first day caching. Actually,
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Went
yeah,
right
it
for
was-
it.
but it really, it wasn't really a puzzle. It was in downtown Sacramento, and I still had a flip phone, and I was using the app. I was using the app for. I'm sorry, I got phone delay there. Sorry. So I was using the app on a iPod Touch, well, and a flip phone, and I went and got my first cache, and I loved it so much. The first, it was that first find,
Oh,
And,
absolutely, of course, yes.
and I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you. So.
Okay, continue. Just keep going. Keep talking.
Yeah. So so I found that. I was so excited. I went out looking for some more, and the next one I found was called Bring. It was BRRING, and it was a telephone booth in the old Chinatown in Sacramento,
Nice.
and it got you to the area, and that was the only hit. It was Bring, and you went to the phone booth when they actually had phone booths, but it was tucked back in there. So that was kind of my first puzzle. But the real first puzzle, I did a nighttime cache, which aren't really puzzles either. That's just follow. It was a great nighttime cache in Elk Grove. And
Counts.
then I did my very first actual solve was about maybe a month later. It was called the International Space Station, and it's still around, and it was a great cache. You had to go on and you download an audio file, and then you
Nice.
use that to you had to decode that audio file. And there's something to it. I can't remember if it was Morse code or it was backwards. There was something about the audio file, and made that. That was a pretty special one. That's the first time I put a trackable or a geocoin in the wild. I'd found one in that night cache, and I put it in the International Space Station. So those are my first. That's my first solved. Actually, that was actually a puzzle.
Okay, and how long have you been caching before you solved your first puzzle?
Oh, it wasn't a month. I mean, really, the first puzzle find was the very first day I geocached, and then that
Wow.
then that so it was about a month later I actually did one that actually took some solving.
Really?
So.
Wow. And how many caches were you in by then? Do you recall roughly?
I researched this last week a little before your show,
Right.
and now I've kind of forgotten that. So yeah. maybe 20 something.
So nothing, basically nothing. You were in your first 100 still. I mean, wow, and you're going for puzzles. Look at you. Good for you.
Yeah, that was a really good one. It's still around. I bet Chaz has it.
Chaz?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Which-
Good answer, Chad.
What's the GC code on it?
I'd have to look it up again. It's International Space Station, ISS, and it's I'm not at my computer. I was on the TV.
That sounds familiar. So
Is
I
it-
probably
it's
do
in Sacramento?
have it.
Is it in Sacramento?
Yeah, it was Tommy Two Sticks was the owner, I believe. Back
Tommy
then.
Two Sticks. Okay, Paul. What about Paul? Have you hid one yet?
Oh yeah. My first hide, I actually it was sort of a tweener. It could have been a letterbox cache. I got people into Sacramento, then gave them directions that they kind of had to figure out where to go to get to. It was called Would I? Would I be able to find a cache, or hide a good cache? And that was my first puzzle hide.
Is it still active?
Yeah. No, I archived it. It got a little overrun by just traffic and stuff. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right, good, man. I like it. Well, okay. So, and Paul, you're still cashing now. How long ago was this? Just out of curiosity. You might have told me. I apologize.
August of 2010 was my first.
20. All right. So you've been cashing for a good 12 years now. Almost 12 years.
Yeah,
you're up
yeah,
to.
with a couple of breaks for life. But yeah,
I understand life. Yes. All right. Well done, sir. Well done. Okay. So are you a puzzler? Do you consider yourself a puzzler?
yeah, I think I'd like to be better than I am, but I enjoy a good puzzle.
Do you solve them yourself, or do you are you like me and you appreciate and respect the puzzling solving abilities of
No,
others?
I will grind for a long time.
Really? Look at you.
Before I ask for much help. Yeah.
Good for you. So you don't take the charity. You're like, no, I'm going to solve it myself.
That's right.
Yeah. And if it gets really, tied up, yeah. you get your friends to help. But
I always get my friends
that's still the best aha moment anymore, right? There's not a lot of containers that surprise you anymore, but
Yeah,
puzzles
I
you
know.
still get a good aha.
yeah, I guess you're right about that. Yeah, yeah. Roughly, do you see a container? You're like, wow. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that very often. You don't get a wow from me very often anymore. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But still give a damn. That was freaking hard. That was too hard. Too hard for the difficulty level.
For a puzzle. Yeah, you get frustrated. Paul, awesome, buddy. Thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate your call. You be
All
well.
right, have a great show.
You be well now. Bye bye. So, Chad, International Space Station. Chad, is that you? You got that one? Come on, man. That's your wheelhouse right there.
I've got GSAC up over here. So
going for the GSAC. Guys, you want to give us a call? 808-468-7924, 808 got swag. Tell us about your first puzzle find.
I've got space shuttles, space-time continuum, space invaders, space objects, spaceship repairs, women in space, space jumble, space stations,
Nothing.
Google Space Doodles, Space the Final Frontier,
Google Space Doodles. Where's your neck?
a walk in space, but no International Space Station.
Hmm.
So apparently I have not found that one.
Oh, look at that.
If it's still out there, I may just have to go find it now.
Chad, now you got something on your list there. There you go.
Yeah.
Something on your list. All right, we got a call coming in. We've got Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Hello. Hello.
How you doing, guys?
Hi.
Tyrone.
Hey, Tyrone. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
You sound like you're in a car, man.
Yeah, I'm driving right now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I could hear you well enough. What's up, man?
Went to do a CETO event over by Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm driving back home now.
CETO in Erie,
Just a
Pennsylvania.
short drive.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say that's not a short drive, is it? I don't think so.
That time got away from me, and I didn't get my souvenir yet. And we only got a week left, so I had to do something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we missed it. We missed the.
We're
week.
not going to get it.
Yeah, we missed it. We had a shot at it a couple weeks ago, and it was just so busy. And then did we have a shot at it in New York, Jess, or no? Was there no shot in New York either? Do you
I
remember?
didn't have
There was
one that
ASP.
was on my radar.
There was one by ASP. I can't remember. Was that what you said, Tyrone?
Yeah, about 45 minutes away or so.
Oh.
But I didn't find out about it until after the event. And I was up there,
Oh, you went to it.
and I missed the CETO up there.
How was the event?
It was fun for as long as I was there. I really just used it as a stopping point. I wanted to do cash counties around there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at the event for maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm. Was it crowded?
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Oh, nice. Maybe next year. All right, so talk to me about your first puzzle find.
My first puzzle find was a milestone cache. It was number 100.
Oh.
It was called Easy Peasy Lemon Squeeze.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about it.
It was one of those like along a bike trail where you had to find caches along the trail. Each one had a number in it. And then you had to put all the numbers together, and that gave you the coordinates on the final.
Oh,
the
sure.
container for the final was one of those lemon juice squeeze containers.
Uh-huh.
It was shaped like a lemon hanging up in a tree. I had to go twice to find it. That was my number 100. I didn't know what exactly I was looking for.
Yeah.
And it was hanging up in the tree, like 10 feet up in the tree. And I remember when I found it because I was looking all over and looking down on the ground, and then it started to rain. And I was like, come on, let me just find this thing. So I looked up at the clouds and I looked straight at the cache. It's not bad.
Don't you love when you do that? Yes.
Yeah. That's when I learned you got to look up.
Okay, always look up, man. Always look up. Yes, that's good advice. Always look up. And then what about your first puzzle solve? Was that your first puzzle solve as well?
Well, I mean, kind of, because it's a field puzzle, and that was the first one I solved.
What about a regular
I
puzzle?
can't remember which one I actually sat down and solved.
No?
I've solved so many now.
Does
John, I tried to look it up, but I'm driving, so I can't. Do it.
And what about puzzle hide? First puzzle hide.
Yeah, that was a fun one. It was a tribute cache to a friend of mine who I met through caching. Her cacher name was Foo Flung Foo. And another story related to this, shortly before I put that cache out, I had found a traditional where Muggles had found it. It was a square, like a coffee can size square container.
Mm-hmm.
And they had actually taken a crap in the container.
You say take a poop? Is that what you said?
I almost quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Human poop in a cache, huh? Nice.
Human poop in the cache.
Nice.
And so when it came time to put a tribute cache out to her because she hit 1,000 clients,
Mm-hmm.
and her cacher name was Who Flung Poo, I got one of those containers, one of those square containers, and I got one of those fake poops, and I put it at the bottom of the container.
Wait, her caching name was Who Flung Poo? Am I hearing you correctly?
That's what I'm hearing.
Who Flung Poo.
Who Flung Poo? That's fantastic. She's still cash with that name?
She caches occasionally. I haven't seen her around much.
Who Flung Poo? That's fantastic. That got through. I'm impressed. Who Flung Poo got through. Okay.
The cache itself was another field puzzle. You walk down the trail, get some answers off the sign. So, but really, it was the container.
All right, man. Well, you drive safe. All right, and be well.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Take care.
Hey, where are you going to the Clash on a couple weekends?
I will be there.
All right, maybe we'll see you there. Probably will. Find me.
I'm good. Don't get sick again.
I'll try not to. And I think I'm good for 90 days. So I think we're okay. So you be well. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Who Flung Poo, Chad?
Awesome name.
That's a fantastic name. Who Flung Poo? Okay, so my first puzzle solve, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Again, distinctly remember it. It's called Billy and the Big Boys, GC157CW. Jessie probably knows this cache because she lives in Buffalo Grove. I was living in Buffalo Grove at the time. It was, again, GC157CW. I found it. I solved it and found it August 11th, 2008. Now, you say, how do you remember this, Scott? I remember it because I was sitting, Toby was 2008. Toby was 3 years old. Toby's 17 right now. Toby was 3 years old, and I was rocking him to sleep, and I'm sitting in a rocking chair in his bedroom, rocking Toby to sleep. And I've got my iPhone probably 2 in my hand. No, iPhone 3. Actually, I've got my iPhone 3 in my hand. And no, it could be a 2. No, it might be my original iPhone, actually. I don't remember. Irrelevant to the story. And I'm reading this cache's description, and it's a story about Billy and the Big Boys. Obviously, sounds kind of pornographic, but it's not. It's about a little kid and his older brothers. And the only hint was read it again. That was the only hint. Read it again. And so I'm sitting there rocking Toby to sleep, and I'm reading the story over and over again, and all of a sudden, it hits. It hits me, Chad. What kind of a puzzle is it? Do you know what kind of a puzzle it was?
Billy and the
Just reading the story over and over again. What kind of a puzzle do you think it is?
I haven't a clue.
It's
Were there numbers mentioned in it? I don't remember it. I know I solved it.
numbers were mentioned in it. Yes, that's it. It's like Billy went with his three brothers to get ice cream. He got 2 scoops of, and then the numbers were the north and the west chords.
Okay, so
And
I apparently I didn't read that book. I was reading C Spot Run.
No, no, I wasn't reading it to Toby. I was reading, and he was sleeping. I was just reading the cash script. You never solved that kind of puzzle before? The kind where it's just the numbers are in the story?
Oh, I've read them when it's in the story, but I thought you were saying that the story might have been based upon like a grammar book, or not grammar
No,
book,
no, no. The story was just a
K-12.
story. It was just a story.
Okay.
And first time I ever obviously come across one of these type of puzzles, and I was just reading it, and then it clicked, and I remember going, "Oh, I got it! That's it!"
Did
Oh my
it
God,
have like all 14 digits, or did
yeah,
it
it
have
sure
like
did. Yeah, it sure
okay,
did. Yeah,
yeah,
and it just clicked.
yeah, I've definitely done those ones like that. Yeah.
But I remember it clicking and getting so excited because, oh my God, I actually solved the puzzle, and I just remember I was having Toby was sleeping on me, and I put Toby down and then went and grabbed the cash. It was right by my house at the time, so
Sweet.
Chrissy knows where it was. Is it still active? I don't know if that cash is still active. It was under a bridge and it got destroyed. I can't imagine that cash is still around. I think it got archived. So yeah, that was my first puzzle solved. Billy and the Big Boys, August 11th, 2008 was my first puzzle solve. Chad, your first puzzle solve.
My first puzzle solve was Danger Island. And this thing is actually still active out there, although it has not been found in 7 years. Here, I'll put the GC code in there. It's GC1 Echo Victor 7 Kilo. I found it on April 30th of 2011, but I solved it in October of 2010. And the only reason I know I solved it in October of 2010 is because of what I posted as a log. Figured the chords out back in October of 2010, but each time I checked, I'd have needed hip waders. Was out at the locale today caching and decided to take a look. Unfortunately, I was in shorts, but it was not too bad. Anyway, it still took me a good 10 minutes looking around to find it. As usual, I was looking in the wrong places, but the right location. Thanks for the cache, RTFTC. And so, yeah, apparently when I first started caching, I was actually looking at puzzles and solving puzzles.
Really?
Yes. So, because that's the month that I started caching, October of
Wow.
2010. And so I didn't remember. I remember the find clearly because it was on an island, and typically you need either a kayak or some pretty big hip waders, but the water levels were down, and I was able to cross over, actually jump over the last portion of water to the island and make it out there. But when I saw the cache, I was like, oh yeah, I instantly recognized it because it was naval flags. So you had to use the naval flags to
Oh yeah,
to,
I've
to
done those
solve
before.
solve for chords. So yeah.
Sure. Yes. Sure. What's wrong, Jess?
I'm just hearing weird things. My head's still a little clogged from the cold, and so sounds are like coming from weird places. And there's a hairdryer upstairs, but I couldn't figure out what it was because I didn't know what direction it was coming from. I'm good. I'm all right.
All right, Jesse, why don't you tell us
Sorry.
about your first solve?
My first solve was actually about 2 weeks after my first find that I didn't solve. I watched Scott solve it. Called Under My Umbrella. It's GC41C58. And I'm looking at it. I don't remember exactly how it was, It's pretty easy if you look at it to figure out. It's math, it's logic, it's a picture of an umbrella, and all the sections of the umbrella have a letter in it. And then below it is basically the algebra that you would need to plug into each section. So, for example, F is C divided by 4. E is B divided by 6, D is E divided by 2, etc. So you have to figure out what each one of those numbers actually are. And then use those to plug the numbers into the coordinates. And I remember being so excited that I figured out how to solve this. Actually, I think now that I think about it, I think you, Scott, were like, "Hey, we're going to be in this area. Take a look at this puzzle and see if you could solve it."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I did, and I was super excited that I did. And then we went out like the next week or whatever and found it.
Nice.
So.
Well done, Jess.
Hey, thanks. And that was what opened my eyes to the world of puzzle solving. And then I got this little book. And
Nice. We've got Ventura, California. Hello.
Hello, this is Scott. GSM times 2. How are you doing?
What's up, GSM times 2? Hello, sir. How are you?
Well, you're talking about one of my least favorite subjects. I've been known for years to say that Henry can never have too few puzzles. But over time, I've made them less, but still don't solve them very often. Don't even look at them very often.
Me neither.
But my first one, and it's funny, I'm looking through here, and this is going back to 2005, 2006. Some of my first ones were actually mystery caches, but they really should have been virtuals. So it must have been right after virtuals were
right.
banned, and people were hiding things that
right. They were cheating.
That were not puzzling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess my first one that I would think would be a puzzle was actually more of a multi. And my little log says, I avoid puzzles like the plague and multis like the common cold. But I had extra time and saw this, and I'm glad I did. So it was just a little walk around Monterey and looking at historic buildings, and eventually you found the geocache.
Nice.
My first puzzle hide. And this was about puzzle. This is about find number 345. So I didn't do puzzles for a long time.
You sure didn't.
I did not. My first hide was actually a retaliatory hide. Somebody did a puzzle within 200 feet of my house, knowing that I hated puzzles. So he hated puzzles. I'm not sure why he hit it, but he hated puzzles. I hated puzzles.
That's fantastic.
So I set a cache within 200 feet of set a puzzle within 200 feet of his house. So, but over time, I actually enjoy setting puzzles. I try and set puzzles that are solvable. Try and give people directions. Like if it's related to golf, I'm a golf scoreboard or a scorecard. I'm telling them how to do handicaps on the scorecard and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put in the puzzle. So my first puzzle solved. I think I solved one last week. So and that's about the first one I've done. No, that's not exactly true, but I do not solve puzzles. I really have a lot of difficulty with them. So unless somebody really spells out what to do,
mm-hmm.
I'll look at it for maybe a minute, and then I move on.
I'll give it 5. I'll give it 5 minutes. I'll be like, nope. Nope. Yeah. If it's not blatantly obvious, nope. Yeah.
And even and it's kind of funny because like my friend Shearbear 64, she set some pretty good puzzles, and she's of the philosophy of I want to put the information in there. People have to dig for it and find it. But I'll work on hers, and I'll know the concept, I'll know what to do, and I'll still make mistakes, and she'll have to correct me and eventually lead me to the end. But, that's it. That's about what I have to say.
Love it. Thanks for calling in, buddy. You be well.
You guys take care. Been a little while since
Yeah.
I've been.
I know. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you well. Be well. Bye. Good old Gia sometimes too here.
Oh, yeah.
We've got we got one more coming in here. We got Colorado Poison Lazy Lady. Hello, Poison Lady. Is that right?
Hey, y'all.
Or Poison
Hey,
Lazy.
y'all,
Poison
how's it
Lazy is
going?
good too. That's even better. To tell you the truth.
Well, that's actually kind of a part of my little story about my first puzzle. It wasn't really the first one, as I posted earlier. I had done them before with groups, but never had a clue about how to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one evening, I was kind of flirting with these puzzles, and I had no clue what they were. And it was like, oh, it'd be nice to get all of those, though. You know, there's a whole bunch of them, you know, together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I'd read all these stories, you know, about, you know, all these power trails and everything else. But, you know, I've just been slowly caching over the years, not doing a lot of puzzles. And I'd only even been to one mega before, which happened to be Geo Woodstock 14 or down in Littleton, Colorado. And it was actually 2.4 miles from where I lived. Anyways, I was struggling so bad, I did post about it in my Facebook group. So, and one of the people in my group came on and, you know, gave me that nudge, and because I was like struggling, I was like, well, the thing only has 3 words in it. What does this 3 words mean and everything else? And once I got, you know, the hint of, you know, kind of the direction to go, boom, you know, solved them all. It did take a little bit of time, but the nice thing about it is it actually led to a lot of exciting things. It was called the very first of the Mingo Madness puzzles. And so I solved all of those. And while I was there, you know, of course, I met a lot of great people. I got to meet, you know, some of the superstars. You know, I got to meet Josh, the geocaching blogger, and Craig. And after that was all over, you know, ended up going caching, where I went and met Jeff times 2 there.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, I mean, it was just kind of a little bit of a story. I mean, after that, really, I mean, I think I've only done a couple other random puzzles, except for, you know, this last fall, I decided to go a little nuts and solve this little smiley face thing that was really irritating me out northeast of Denver. And I ended up solving it. And it was one of those that, again, took me another nudge, but it's one of those white space puzzles.
Was it white text in the whites?
50,
Was it white text in the white
yeah,
space?
yeah. Once you highlighted it with your mouse
There
on
you
the
go.
computer,
Yeah,
you
sure.
saw exactly what it was. You substituted it in the coordinates and everything. It was like, okay, you know. So I went out into the middle of nowhere, northeast Colorado, on a gravel road that, I don't know, 10 miles of every, you know, 528 plus feet. There was another one of them. There was like 59, I think it was, and it got to the point it was getting too dark to go anymore in a place that it was just me out there.
Oh.
And so I headed on home, and I think I had like maybe 10 or 12 left to go. So they're still sitting there.
Hanging out there.
Yeah.
And so do I
Someday.
dare ask, have you ever hidden a puzzle cache?
I did.
Oh,
actually.
really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I hid one. Once I kind of figured out, you know, what they were, I thought, well, this is a basic idea, but it worked. It was an MO10 I hid under a tree out by my church back in Wichita, Kansas, and it was part of a series, actually, of caches that was one for every NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
And so, since I was a huge Broncos fan, it was the NFL Denver Broncos, and of course, it's been gone a long time, and all. You know, they decided to replace the trees, so there was no need for cache sitting in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. But yeah, all it was is you had to go to these different locations in town and get information, you know, off of a sign or whatever, and get that together, and you'd have the coordinates, and boom, go get it. And I mean, it lasted for about a year, and then it just didn't work out no more. So it is what it is.
But you don't consider yourself a puzzler, correct? You're not a puzzler.
No, not really. I mean, I've got, after caching since 2009, I've only got a little over 2,000 caches. So it's not like I do a lot of caching or anything like that, but a lot of times I will look at them and I'll be overwhelmed and go, okay, on to the next thing. And, I'll just, it depends. I mean, I've watched some of the podcasts, where they talk about, some of the different types of puzzles, and they'll even describe them, and go into it, but they won't solve it for you on the podcast or anything like that. And that's been helpful, of some ideas, and I'm just kind of, when I finally come across something like that, I won't be quite so overwhelmed and just give up.
Good. Karen, thanks for calling in. It's good.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
It's good to hear from you. You be well. Okay.
Good. All righty. You too. Bye.
Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your first hide.
My first hide.
Your first hide.
So it was actually inspired by another puzzle that I found outside of New Orleans on the way to Geo Woodstock in Lakeland, Florida.
So you copied
not a direct copy, but inspired by.
Okay.
So and it's called Wet Sweater Bra Stuck. The GC code is GC4 X-ray 1. That's not beta. What's B? There.
Beta. Sure.
Beta.
People know what you're talking about.
Hotel. Okay. So GC4X1BH.
Bravo.
So I knew it wasn't beta, but I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, beta's fine.
So what's kind of cool about it is it won the puzzle cache of the day. And it's because there's a website out there that does basically picks a puzzle cache anywhere in the country, and
really,
and promotes it as the puzzle cache of the day. And it wasn't for the puzzle itself, because usually it does it on pretty cool puzzles, and this puzzle wasn't pretty cool. But it's for the name, which is also integral to the puzzle. So Wet Sweater Bra Stuck.
Wet Sweater Bra Stuck.
Yeah, I misspelled it in the show notes. Bra Stuck. So
is it still active?
It's still active. It's still active.
So you can't tell us what you did or what it is because it's still active.
It's an anagram one. If you can't tell it's an anagram one from reading the cache page, you need to be smacked upside the head.
Okay. So it's an anagram.
So, yeah.
Okay. Jesse Brown. Your
Yes.
first place. I remember this one. Oh, this one's got a long sword history.
So my first puzzle hide is a cache called Jewel Thief. And what happened was Scott and I were out caching one day in a preserve.
Jelky.
In Jelky Forest Preserve. Jelky Bird Sanctuary.
Jelky Bird Sanctuary.
And we stumbled across an old container that was we saw it because it was like sparkling in the sun.
It was like this, like Chad. It had like jewels on it for like.
It was bedazzled.
It was bedazzled.
It was like a regular size Tupperware container, like good size, nothing small about it. And it was like covered in jewels,
right,
all over the entire outside, and it had been archived, but the container was still there. So I was like, okay. I put in a fresh log. I left the container there. I went home and I wanted to make a puzzle. So I did a whole bunch of research about jewels and came up with a puzzle surrounding jewels. I couldn't tell you now how to solve it, so please don't ask me because I have no idea. And that container lasted for quite a while. I think it's been replaced once or twice since then.
Yeah, but you
I
remember
think
the
you and I
issues.
replaced it once,
The
huh?
issues. People couldn't solve that puzzle.
People could not solve that puzzle.
Jesse went to Jesse got all her information from like one website. If this and talk to me if I'm wrong, Brad. This is what I'm remembering. You got
No,
all
you
your
tell me because I don't remember.
you got all of your information from one website, but apparently it wasn't the first hit in Google, or it subsequently years later, as years went on, dropped down Google. So people would go to other websites to get information, and apparently that differed than the information that you had on this one site.
Perhaps.
People were getting wrong information and were coming up with wrong chords.
Well, I think the concept was so obscure to begin with that people struggled just to put it all together.
Yeah, you help
So-
more people with that.
And
So does that have a red herring in there?
I was just gonna
No,
say yes,
was
yes.
there a red herring?
There is red
because
herring.
I'm pretty sure I went down the wrong path.
You went down the wrong way. Yeah, there
I
is
went
a
down
red-
the obvious path.
right, and it's not obvious.
Is that still live? That cache?
It is. It is.
It is.
still
Cache is
out
still live.
I was sitting here trying to solve it.
there. Yeah, you went down the path that most people do.
Right.
Why don't you give the GC for that one, Jess? That other people try and solve your.
GC 4DYA5.
4DY. I'll throw it in the chat room. 4D.
4D. D is in dog. YA5.
Jewel Thief.
But
Good
you,
old-
you
See if
always,
anyone
you always
can-
got to go down the simple path first,
Uh-huh.
anyways, because you're going to kick yourself if you don't. Because I tend to
Right.
overthink things, and sometimes
Right.
I miss that simple path, and that's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, I vaguely remember how to find it. I couldn't explain it now, but if I Googled, I could find the information. I know basically what it is and what you have to do to solve it. But it's basically just research. It's just finding information
Is there a checker
about
in it?
jewels. There is a checker.
There is a checker.
Oh, okay.
So 37 correct finds and 415 incorrect, or 37 correct solutions and 415 incorrect.
And what's the DT on that thing? Should be a 5. Should be
It's a 3.5.
3.5,
2.
2, yeah.
3.5. All right. I think you might have upped it over the years because, I mean, everybody would.
No,
contact
I
us
don't.
about that
I
guy.
wouldn't change it.
Everybody would contact you about that.
I'm not a believer in changing chords.
Oh,
And so let's see, 63 fines on that since
63.
2013.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And that's in a good preserve.
It's
in
a
pretty
nice
good
preserve, yeah.
So like people just aren't doing it because they can't solve it.
Well,
Obviously,
maybe it's time to
more-
recycle it.
You think it's time for it to go away, Jewel Thief? That's something's been there.
We might have to come up with another obscure puzzle for that area.
Obscure puzzle.
Well, it was found just last month
Was
by
it really?
2 different people. Yeah.
Jesse, it was found. Yeah, but it's not the same container. So you know, probably about 7 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago. No, more, we were still living in Elgin. So more about 5, 6, 7 years ago. The container went missing.
Yeah.
Remember, we had to replace the container. Somebody actually took the container.
Oh,
Yeah. It was
found
a
it, like-
nice container.
Yeah.
Vestiges.
Yeah. Sad. Yeah. Okay, so my first, I think this is my only puzzle placements, I think, as a matter of fact. I did in March 28th, 2009, I did a series, a Code Monkey series. Code Monkeys. I did Web Design 101 through Web Design. I did Web Design 101, 102, 103, 104, and then a Web Design final exam. I did one with HTML, one with CSS, one with Flash, one with Morse code, and the final exam used everything. Everything you learned in the previous 4. So I basically taught you stuff. I taught you how to. Jess, you okay?
Yeah, there. It's in my book.
What is?
All,
those
all the chords.
So basically taught you how to find that stuff. Basically within the different web design stuff, and then the Morse code was old school. Was know your roots. And then the final exam. It was a great series. A lot of people. I got a lot of positives from that series. It was just round. I did it in 2009. I finally archived it series in 2018. So that was my first. I think my only puzzle to this day.
No.
Yes, what
Knit
else?
happens.
It happens. You're right. Jesse's 1000th. I'm sorry. Yes.
Mm.
I did a puzzle. Knit happens. Jesse's short and it's 1000. Knit happens, which is basically I took Jesse years 1,000 years ago knitted me an R2D2 hat, and I took the what's it called, Jesse? The
The
instructions. What is it?
pattern?
Pattern. The pattern. I took the pattern and I PDF the pattern and I put that on the page, and then you have to look into the pattern to figure out the chords. I ask questions about the pattern to get chords. That's knit happens. That's still active. That one. That's still here. It's
Yeah.
still around. Yeah. So that's mine. There you go. Those are our first find solves and placements for puzzle cache. Me, still to this day, I don't hide them, and Jesse's 1000 is the last one I hid. So, Chad, do you hide puzzles or no? You don't hide puzzles.
I hide some puzzles. So actually, I've got 3 of them that all start with wet sweater.
Jess, do you hide puzzles?
I'm trying to remember the last puzzle that I hid. Challenges.
Actually,
Really?
they don't start with wet sweater. They end with bra stuck.
Ah.
Oh, I do have a couple challenges. My mistake.
Bra stuck is an anagram for Starbucks.
Yes.
That's why I use bra stuck.
You're right, Jess. I do have a couple challenges as well. I forgot about
Yeah,
my
I have some challenges, and then of course I had your 9K series
right.
that the final was a puzzle for that. That series is archived now. And what else? The bonus to the Adventure Lab.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay. You got, but no real puzzles. Those aren't per se.
I'd rather solve them
Then hide them. Fair enough.
than create the puzzles.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and because I always feel like it's either really dumb and like not even worth anybody solving if I come up with an idea, or it's way too complicated and too difficult, and I don't want to be that person, you know.
Yeah, mine are all should be solvable by just about anyone. Yet I will get some of the strangest questions come into me about it, and it's like, and you're like, no, you're way overthinking about it. Read the hint.
All right, there you go. That's about the show tonight, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who called in. Super appreciative of you guys calling in tonight. Love those discussion shows, talking about puzzles. Chad, next week, Chad, you know what next week is. You know what it is.
It's Cash or Coffee.
Cash or Coffee. It's the first month of June. First week, rather. Excuse me, of June. First week of the month always is Cash or Coffee, guys. So there you go. That's what's coming next week is Cash or Coffee. So everybody have a good week. We will talk to you guys next Wednesday. Let's close this bad boy out here. Hold on a second. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archived video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on your favorite podcatcher. If you like the show, please send it over Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified buttons to know exactly, hey, when we go live. And if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you get a ton of additional information, extra video, extra audio, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cachly, Logwork, FTF Geocacher Magazine, the Max Sense Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, PathX.com, Geocaching Adventures LLC, and GeoGo. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make a purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. So we'll see you next week talking geocaching and taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones. We will talk to you guys next week. And we are clear. Thank you, Roxy, for clicking. Roxy's in my room now. Clicking away. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Let's be well and be safe. We will talk to you guys next week. That's about it. Have a good week, guys. Talk to you. Thanks so much. Bye, Chad.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jesse.
Goodbye.
All right, guys.